shouldn't have come here. If you're reading this, it means you're next. Come in. He locked himself in for safety, but the whisper came from inside the cabin. You shouldn't have come here. The jungle is a dangerous place at night. That's why David rented the cabin. It was supposed to be safe. 4 walls, a roof, a door he could lock. But what? He didn't know. Was that someone else had the key? David had been hiking for days. His legs ached, his supplies ran low, and the jungle felt endless. When he stumbled across the cabin, it was blessing. Wooden, old, covered in vines, but solid enough to keep out the night. Inside, it smelled of damp wood and dust. A single bed, a table, and a heavy door with a thick metal bolt. David slid it closed with relief. He was safe, or so he thought. The jungle outside was alive. Crickets chirped, leaves rustled, and somewhere far away, something howled. David tried to sleep, but just as his eyes closed, clang, the sound of metal. At the door, he froze. The bolt, slowly, he turned to look. The bolt was sliding shut, not from the inside, from the outside. David jumped up, grabbed the handle, and pulled. Nothing. The door was sealed tight. His chest tightened. Number no, no, no. He rattled the door, slammed his shoulder against it, even tried to lift the hinges. Nothing worked. It was like the cabin itself had locked him in. And then, footsteps, soft were slow, circling the cabin. There were 2 windows, both covered in old cracked glass. David rushed to one and pushed. Stuck, he tried the other, also sealed. And then, in the reflection of the glass, he saw a shadow, someone standing just beyond the trees, still watching. When he spun around, no one was there. Hours passed. David sat at the table, flashlight in hand, staring at the door. Then it began. A scratching sound, at the walls, at the windows, at the roof, like claws dragging across the wood. He shouted, "Who's there?" The scratching stopped, and then 3 knocks. Knock, knock, knock. At the door, his phone had no signal, but he turned it on anyway. Anything to hear another sound. Static filled the speaker, then a voice. Not through the phone, inside the cabin, whispering, "You shouldn't have come here." David spun around, flashlight shaking. The cabin was empty. The whisper came again. This time, from under the bed. Heart pounding, David crouched down, shining the light beneath. Empty. But carved into the wooden floorboards were words. Deep, rough scratches. "Let me out." Sleep was impossible. Every hour the sounds grew louder. Scratching, knocking, footsteps circling again and again. David pressed his back against the door, as if his weight could keep it shut. Then, in the dark, the bolt slid. Not open, tighter, sealing him in further. He realized with horror, someone wasn't trying to get in. They were making sure he couldn't get out. In the corner of the cabin, beneath the loose floorboard, David found something. A journal. The pages were yellow, the ink smeared. It belonged to someone named Samuel. The last entry was short. "They locked me in. They won't let me leave. If you're reading this, it means you're next." David dropped the book. His breath came fast, because outside the cabin, he heard someone whisper, "Samuel." The jungle fell silent. No insects, no wind, just silence. Then, the handle on the door rattled. Someone was testing it. David shouted, "Stop! Leave me alone!" The rattling stopped. Then the bolt slid open. For the first time in days, the door was unlocked. Relief washed over him. He grabbed the handle and pulled. The door opened, But outside, there was no jungle, only another cabin, identical to his. Door wide open, waiting. And from inside it, a voice whispered, "Come in."